Good morning and happy holidays. We are hoping and we are praying that you are well in the Lord, and that as you are making merry, as you are mingling, as you are making fun, that you are enjoying the season that we are in. We are thanking God because yes, indeed, we prayed and we believed in Him, and He has been Ebenezer. Thus far, indeed, we can testify of His goodness and His protection. Thank you so very much. Even as we are making merry, also it is very important to ensure that we are ready not only to finish the year, but also to face the new year that is ahead of us, the year of the Lord 2025. And that is why even today we are having a show. And today, of course, as always, being a Monday, we are looking at financial fitness. And on financial fitness today, it's a very special one because we are looking at how do we set financial goals for the new year, because we have the new year resolutions and all, but then again, how do we set financial goals for the new year? And we feel that it is very important, even as we are preparing, even as we continue to write down the new year resolutions, that also we set down the financial goals as well. Be part of the show, karibu sana, and you can interact with us across all our social media platforms, Hope TV KE, that is Hope TV Kenya, across all our social media platforms. My name is George Gishoro, and by the grace of God, I will be your host this morning. And we are not alone in studio. I'm not a financial expert. No, I'm not. I'm also here to be enlightened. I'm also here to learn a thing or two, even as I also set my own financial goals. We have Eunice Maina Mburu. She's not a stranger to us. She's been here before, and so she is also joining us today to help us with the day's conversation. And Eunice, good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you again.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
You know, it's been a minute.
Yeah, time is flying.
I tell you.
Yeah.
Just the other day, it was January, then media. Now we are counting hours to the close of the year, 2024.
I'm yet to believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This year looked like it was 4 months.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Very short.
Yeah, very short.
Very, very short. But we thank God that He has been good to us through and through. So first things first, a brief introduction of yourself.
All right. I'm Eunice.
Yes.
As you said, Eunice Maina Mburu, a mother, a wife. I start with wife, then mother.
Yes.
In order of how they came.
Yes, yes.
And an entrepreneur. I'm a founder of 2 businesses. One is BeSmart, an online insurance comparison platform, and 20X Entrepreneur, which is where we enable people to grow their money. Yeah. Yes, whether it is through business or through learning a skill like selling, we help people grow money. Yeah. Yes.
First of all, allow me to ask you, how easy or how hard is it to run 2 businesses?
It really depends. Yeah. For me, it is one has come after the other. So it is not 2 at the same time. Okay. When I left employment in 2017, I started BeSmart and ran BeSmart to a point whereby other people can run the business. So I'm not involved in the day-to-day running of the business. Okay. And I think this is what my dream was. When I left employment, I remember I had a conversation with God that I'm not going to be self-employed because there's a difference between being self-employed and being employed and owning a business. Being self-employed, to me, looks worse than being employed. Why? Because this business depends on you 100%. True. If you get sick for 2 days, or if you want to travel for 2 months, then you close the business. Yep. So that is why I ask God, please enable me to be able to raise other people who can run the business, and I can play the overseeing role. So to me, it's not difficult because now I've begun another business, which is in 2022, which now I'm working to creating structures, processes, so that again, other people can continue running the business as I oversee.
All right. Yes. Awesome. That's good to hear and good to know as well. Today's conversation is a very interesting one, but a very important one as well. Setting financial goals for the new year as we prepare for the new year. How important is it to set financial goals?
very important. I'm sure you called me here because it's very important.
That's why you are here.
Yeah, and they say that if you're not aiming at something, or if you do not have a destination, then any road will lead you there.
Yes.
It's like saying, I'm going on a holiday, like it's been holiday seasons. I'm going on holiday, and whatever, I mean, I'm not sure, I don't know. So that means you wake up, and wherever you land, you're on holiday. That is your holiday destination.
Yes, yes.
But if you say, I am going to Mombasa, for example, specifically, say, in a particular hotel, that is a very specific place. That means you know that if you find yourself on Waiyaki Way,
you know you are...
you know you're lost.
You're lost.
But if so long as you're on Mombasa Road, even if difficulties come, maybe there's traffic jam, maybe, you know, a tire burst, whatever happens, you know that you're on the road towards your destination. So that is how important financial goals are, because they give you a direction. They give you a compass. Where are you going? What are you aiming at? Because sometimes challenges come and they distract you from, you know, whatever you're doing. Therefore, what keeps you is to remember, oh, I had a goal. So that then, where am I at in regards to my goal? When all the shakeups have come, am I still on the path to Mombasa? So that even if you're late, you're still headed there.
And Eunice, if you can help us, is there a module? Do we have a formula to set financial goals? Because I believe, this is what I believe, that so many of us, tunataka sana kuset easy goals. Tunataka, lakini, niseme tu like a typical Kenyan, sijui ni nini ufanyika.
Oh, kuset financial goals.
So, is there a formula?
I would say yes, because it's been proven what has worked for many people, whereby you need to have, you know, first of all, what am I trying to achieve? And I'll just share what I do, is to ask, what do I plan to achieve, say in this year, or in the next 3 years, or the next 5 years? So the first thing is to see, you know, there's both short-term and long-term goals. And then you ask, where do I want to be? Say, if it's 5 years and I want to own a home, then the next question you ask is, how much is that home? How much will it cost? Because the cost of the home now will be different in 5 years. There's inflation. There's something called inflation. So how much will it cost? Then when I know how much it will cost, is to ask, so how much do I need every month so that I can achieve that? Before you even start thinking of whether you're going to borrow or whether you're going to save, whatever it is, you need to be clear on how much do I need every month. And because I'm a business trainer, when it comes to business people, I even tell them, break it down to daily. Yes.
Daily.
To daily. Yes. How much do... And you see, I'm focusing more on earning. For a long time, I was training people on, you know, living within means. Then as I'm growing older, I'm realizing that you can actually expand means.
Wow.
But whichever the case, if you are earning a salary, it is still the same. You need to know, how much do I need to save, or how much do I need to earn? I have had people in the past come to my office and say, this is my payslip, Eunice, and I want to own a home. These are my goals. What do I do? And I'll be honest, you either go and negotiate with your employer to increase your salary, because if you can't be able to, you know, there's an extent whereby as you look at your expenses, they cannot go below what you're already spending, because if you have children, they need to eat, you need to pay rent.
School.
Yes, you can reduce the rent to the minimum, but you need to be in a safe environment. And this is where you ask, so what can I do? So the purpose here is to understand, where do I want to go? And the other thing is, where am I? Where am I right now? So you start with, where do you want to go? Where am I focusing to go? Where am I right now? Because it's important to know, to be honest with yourself, where you are in terms of your finances, in terms of your expenses, in terms of your income. Where are you at? And then the other very important question, how old am I?
Wow. Age.
I'm not saying that, the older or the younger determines, but you see, there's some risks you can't take when you're a certain age. Of course, we still have unique people in the world, like the KFC guy.
Yes.
But those are it's like less than 1% of the society. So you need to be clear on how old am I? Where am I financially? How are my debts? Because you also need to have a debt, to look at the debts. How am I doing when it comes to my debts? Because they can shock you to depression. So you look at all that. So once you know where you want to go and where you are, then you ask, how do I get there? And this is where now you can look for people like Eunice. You can look for other financial coaches or planners to help you where you need to go, because nobody can tell you where you want to go. Nobody can tell you where you are. You're the one who knows where you are. But somebody can hold you to get to move from where you are to where you're going. Have I given you steps?
You have. Let's look at now examples. Examples of financial goals that we ought to, to set, because I believe they are different depending on maybe people. So generally, what are some of the examples of the financial goals that we ought to set?
So some of the financial goals are, now for those who are already in debt, is to ask, what are your debts? How do you get out of debt? That's a goal. The other thing is, how do I, for example, invest? That is your investment goals. So you have investment goals, debt reduction goals. You also have, for those who have children, how are they going to be educated? Education is, we were told when growing up that's the only gift our parents could give us. So what are those? How do you plan to do that? How do you plan to educate them? It could be business goals for those who are running business. How much revenue do you want to grow by in this year? How many new employees are you going to add? All these will implicate on the finances. So there are various financial goals that you can set.
All right. And looking at some of now timelines, and this is in the sense of when should one set their yearly financial goals? Should it be at the beginning, middle, now as we close the year, so that now as we open the year, I already know this is what I should already be doing? When is the right time to set financial goals?
I wouldn't say there is a right time or the wrong time. Where I come from, we say, kiroko gyaku ni haria wokira, as in your morning is when you have woken up. Because you may not have set your goal, you may not be able to set your goals in January. But you can wake up in April. That's your morning.
That's your morning.
So begin where you are. Don't wait for, because again, this year, this timeline thing.
And especially at the beginning of the year, the end of year, beginning of year, there's a lot of pressure.
So no, it shouldn't be. It should not be pressure. It should be an activity that you enjoy to do. It should be your lifestyle. For us, in our family, we are not very many in our family. So at the beginning of the year, mostly on fasts. You see, there's so many on 2nd of January. Each one of us submits their goals, both financial, health, spiritual, all the different goals. We submit and we come together to discuss them as a family. So it depends with you, your family, how do you do that? So just create your own culture.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be, setting goals should not be pressure.
Yeah.
It should be your way of life. Yeah.
Let's talk about effects of not now setting those goals.
Now, as we said, if you don't have a target anywhere, you'll have achieved.
You'll be okay.
Imagine football without a goal. And now I know my family is Arsenal fans. For the Man U, I don't know. Don't stone me. But can you imagine?
Kienda hapo kwa Arsenal na Man U.
Tusiende hapo. But you can imagine. If you went to watch, and then there's no goalpost.
Yeah.
Is that a match?
What's the target? What's
the target? Yeah. So you're someone with directionless, and that means whether you earn more or less, to you're just letting life flow, pass. And that is where you find people ending up in debt they wouldn't have gotten into. They end up in financial crisis that would have been avoided because they're not able to. And you see, setting goal it does not mean that there will be no struggles or challenges in between, but it keeps you focused even despite all these struggles, whatever happens.
The focus remains.
Yes. So when you don't have that, it means that, like now, we were just saying how the year has passed because we had the Gen Z movement. So when all these things happen, we tend to forget where we were going. So when you have written goals, you go back and say, by the way, where was I supposed to be? It is December now. Where am I supposed to be at this time? Where was I meant to be this year? Just evaluate yourself to see, did you achieve or did you not? And the Bible says, and if you read Habakkuk chapter 2, and it's good that you put it in context because sometimes I feel we misquote that verse. If you read Habakkuk 1, it's a whole story between God and Habakkuk. And then in chapter 2, it's God responding to Habakkuk and telling him, write these things. I believe he was speaking to him and saying, write these things, write this vision. Write it in big letters. Write it such that anyone who is running can read. Okay? And then he adds, and though it tallies, wait for it. It will surely come. Now, if I look at that, and then you go below that, the things that are going to happen to the people, to God's people, because you're saying they were going to get into captivity, they're going to get into a lot of trouble. And how my interpretation is that once the goals are written, sometimes you may actually feel like you've forgotten them. But it gives you, I think it's the way God speaks to you. It's a moment of you with God and hearing from God. So when you ask me the implications of not having this plan, it means that you have not had time to listen to God on what is He saying regarding my finances. And that means you have no direction, you have no guidance. And that means that you're likely to find yourself in so much, crisis, financial crisis. And it includes other areas of planning. It's not just about money, but other areas of planning. So financial goals is, from where I sit, I take it, for me, it's a spiritual journey, whereby I'm having a conversation with God. I'm hearing, God, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, the year is beginning, 2025 is beginning. God, what do you want me to do in regards to finances? And finances is a big thing. Because it's what makes the world move. Just imagine driving a car without fuel.
Impossible. It's not possible.
It can't move.
It can't.
So I would say that money is that fuel that makes the car move. So it looks very small element, but it is actually what moves. So I would urge that we take this process very seriously, because it's not just about just writing things down. It's a moment of reflection. You know, what did I achieve in the year? What is God asking me to do in the next year, in the next 5 years? I hope I'm not talking a lot, because I would want to give you an example.
Yes.
Of one time in Mombasa. We lived in Mombasa for quite a number of years. I lived for 9 years in Mombasa. And in 2010, I was asked by my pastor in Mombasa Pentecostal. We had started a ministry called Marketplace Christian Network. And I was asked to take people through a Vision 2020. This is a financial, it was, all planning, including finances. And we were going through our financial goals, our spiritual goals, our health goals, and all that. I was taking them through their financial goals. And I remember, as I was doing that, you see, as you're helping others, you also help yourself. I sat next to my husband, and we wrote our Vision 2020. Now, remember, this is 2010. 10 years look a long time, isn't it? See, 2020 ilifika. And guess what? The goal we had written to be achieved in 2020, it was achieved in less than 2 years after we wrote it down. And that's what Habakkuk was told, write it. So it's that process of writing is like you're committing it to God. And then break it down to daily activities, the things that need to be done now. Do not worry so much about what you wrote. Imagine somehow God helps you to walk into that goal. Because your focus is dedicated. So the flip side of that, the lack of that, means that because you have no focus, then your attention is divided all over. And I want to remind people, for those who did science, was it the concave and the convex lenses? Do you remember them?
Can't.
You don't remember those glasses where you would put in the sun, and then it will, the rays of the sun will come.
I think it's the terms you are using. You are very scientific.
What were we calling it?
I don't know, lenses.
The lenses. Okay, let's use the word.
You are very scientific.
Yes, because I'm a scientist.
No wonder. Mimi niko tu hapa nashindwa lenses.
So there is that one that harnesses the rays of the sun and focuses them on a paper, and the paper would burn. That's the power of focus. I wish we had one. We burn one here. That's the power of focus. When there is no focus, the sun is all over. Can it burn anything? It can't make a paper burn. So that is what it means, that when you don't set your financial goals, then your focus is all over. That's when your friends will call you, let's go out. And out you go. And then you'll be asking, where did my money go? Have you had people asking, I had 10K.
You can't.
Where did it go? You've had people do that. Because you have not told your money where it should go. So you're asking, where did it go? So to avoid asking that, it's very important to set those financial goals. Let's
talk about how one maintains that discipline, because you know it's one thing
to set.
It's another to follow through. So how do I cultivate that discipline?
That's a very good question. How do you cultivate the discipline? Remember we said, set the big goal, the big vision. Write it down, but don't leave it at that. Break it down to activities that you can measure, that you can do on a daily basis. You see the challenge of a big goal. For example, you want to buy a house of 20 million in 5 years. Surely, tell me how you do that. Who does? There's no action. And that's where you just leave it, and you find 5 years are gone, and there's nothing.
There's nothing you've done.
But if you broke down that, say 20 million, let's not talk very big numbers. si tufanye numbers kidogo, 6 million.
6 million.
Affordable house.
Yeah. Affordable housing.
Or
yeah.
6 million
yes.
in 5 years. So if you divide 6 million by 5, that's about 1.2
yes.
per year.
Per
okay.
year.
Then 1.2 per year divided by 12. It is 100. Is it 10,000?
Yeah.
No, 100,000. It's 100,000
yeah.
per month. All right. Is it becoming easier?
Yes, yes.
100,000 per month.
6 to 1.2 to 100.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if your goal is even smaller, break it down. You realize 100,000 per month. Now this is where you start asking. So can I save 100,000 per month when I look at my expenses? It is either yes or no. So what can I do to raise 100,000 per month? Do you see this is doable?
Yes, yes.
The 12 million, the 6 million is not doable at all.
Yes.
So you come down. So 100,000. Currently, how much am I saving? Maybe you're saving 20.
Yeah.
It means you need to grow 5 times your income. If you're in business, then that's a conversation you need to come we have.
Yeah.
How do you grow the 5 times so that you can get to 100?
Yes.
If you're employed, the question is, do I go to my boss and negotiate for a higher salary? Or can I negotiate so that in addition to this salary, are there quantifiable things that can be measured in terms of money, and I ask for a commission?
Yeah.
Do you see now there are things that are doable? Because not everyone will become a business person.
No.
Not all of us can become business people. But wherever you are, or do I look for another job?
Yeah.
You get?
Yes.
But the first thing to keep on track is to always break it down. Let me tell you, if you're in business, now break it down to daily.
If you're in business, it's better to do to break it down into the daily activity.
Yeah, look at it this way. 100,000 per month. Let's even say it's 120,000 per 100,000 per month. And say you want to only work for 20 days. So what is 100 divided by 20?
5.
It's 5.
5, yeah.
5K.
5K.
So you're saying, I just need to save 5,000 every day.
Every day.
Now, when you save that in a bank, the banker is watching you. Before the year ends, they will call you, hey, what are you trying to achieve? Can we help you achieve it?
Yeah.
So you may find your goal of 5 years being achieved in a year or two.
Yeah.
Of course, it's because you can be able to pay the 5,000 every day or the 100,000 every month. You get. And you realize, you may be thinking you earn very little. But if you break it down, you realize, wow, this is a lot of money. Yeah. This is a lot of money, and it can do a lot. So number one, do not set a goal that is, it is big.
Yes.
It should be big, audacious, dream big, but always break it down into actionable actions. Okay, number two, you need, that daily activity you have set. Sometimes you lose track. You need someone to keep you accountable. For me, my family, and sometimes I get a coach so that they can be calling, hey, where are we at this? You may miss like 3 days, but somebody is calling you after 1 week, you're like, oh my God, it's a week lost. But you can recover a week because it is within a short time. But
as
imagine if you're waiting for 5 years. Nobody is asking you. A year comes, next year you come and you're so demoralized. You don't want to even set goals anymore because I've never achieved any. And the thing with us human beings is that you learn. Your mind, your subconscious learns how to do things. So if you fail to achieve your goals for this year, do you know what? You have just learned how not to achieve. That's why it is very important that you do whatever it takes to achieve your goals, because then you learn how to achieve it every other time. And you can always repeat the process. So number 3, so I've said number 1 is break it down into, if possible, daily steps. Very small things that you have control over. I always like to tell people, especially business people and sales people, you're not in control of the outcome.
No.
but you're in control of your actions and your thoughts. You're in control of your thought process and your actions.
Yeah.
And therefore, what you need to measure every day is your actions. It's not your outcome.
No.
For example, you're not in control of whether you'll be able to save 100K or not at the end of the month.
Yeah.
But you're in control of saying, I'm going to sell this cup, 1 cup every day.
Yeah.
And once I sell 1 cup every day, it will give me 5,000 every day. And that 5,000, I will keep it in a account somewhere. So that 5,000, you don't even need to worry, because by the end of the month, it will be 100,000, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So but always break it down. Number 2, we have said get an accountability partner. We are human beings. We lose track. Things happen. Mtoto amegojeka. You know, you need that person to say, hey, where are we at on this one?
Yeah.
And sometimes you pay those people. I pay my coaches. Yeah. You should be willing to spend money to be kept accountable for what you need to do. And number 3, I'm just going to give you only 3, is that keep adjusting. Yeah? Keep adjusting.
Yeah.
If the actions that you're doing are not producing the results you want, change the actions so that the results can change.
Yeah.
You see that a mad person, madness is doing the same thing
over and over again,
and expect
different results. Yeah.
So keep adjusting. Yeah, and find. I'm tempted to add a bonus one.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. It's holiday season.
Yes. So I'll add the bonus one that you need to learn. Keep learning. Be afraid of books. Be afraid of these days there are podcasts. Just learn from others. What do they do?
Yeah.
And when you learn from them, it doesn't mean you implement exactly the way they did. Evaluate, where am I at and what can I implement? Even if it is just one item, it will take you to the next step and to the next. And always remember that above everything else, the Bible says, commit your plans unto the Lord. And He will establish. Is that what it says?
Yes. Yeah.
So always commit it to God. Because He's the authority in everything that we do. Once you do that, imagine, just relax.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Talking of adjustments, because you have mentioned something to do with adjustments, we can't tell the future. We can't predict what even the future holds. So ours is to plan, and then God will establish all those things. Circumstances change.
Yeah.
So how then do I also adjust my financial goals with the change in my circumstances during the course of the year?
Yeah, it's just looking at, hey, is it working? For me, I and maybe other people are different. I normally say that goal, that vision, because I took time, I prayed about it. It is God's. It is
not from anywhere else.
It's not from anywhere else. And because I am His and this goal is His, then He will help me accomplish it. The Bible says that He who began the good work in me is faithful to complete it. So now, I know that circumstances somewhere will come that are difficult, that will distract. But so long as I'm coming back and say, hey, wait a minute, where were we supposed to be? And remember, because it's broken down to, daily activities, it becomes a way of life. So I can tell you, the likelihood of achieving that kind of a goal is 95%. Yes. 90 to 95%. Why? Because I've said I'll be selling 1 cup every day.
Every day.
So I sell today, every week, then it's my way of life. So you see, my goal will be achieved. So in case I realize people no longer want to buy cups, then I can say, hey, what can replace the cup? Maybe it's a plate. So I start selling plates. You see how you look at whether you're getting the results you want. You're not looking at the main goal of 6 million house. You're focusing on the small, doable goal of the 1 cup a day. And then people are not buying cups anymore because there's a new one in the market.
Yeah.
You adjust. Remember, the goal still remains.
Yeah.
So I would say it's adjustment both in terms of pivoting. Now I'm speaking business language.
Yeah.
Pivoting is saying that this is not working. And this should not take you months to realize. Because if you've said, for my employer to increase my salary, I need to hit these targets every month.
Yeah.
And because they are every month, I break them down into daily. So every day I need to do 1, 2, 3 tasks. Okay? Because I want what? To go and negotiate my increment.
Yeah.
So every day, just do the 1, 2, 3. By the end of the week, you'll see whether it's working or not.
Yeah.
So you can't wait for a whole month so that you say, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You should have seen in the second week that there's something that is not working. And then you adjust and say, can I do 2?
Yeah.
Or can I do 4?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But I know Kizugumkuti ni just being consistent.
That consistency. Hey.
That's where you need someone to keep you accountable.
Yeah.
And that's why you need to pay for it because it will be so painful that you want to do it when they call you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And you keep, and you have insisted on this financial money coach, financial coach, or who that person is. I don't want to say but it is alien to us, especially Africans, Kenyans now in our context. That first of all, me opening up to my spouse about my money in itself, it's a big deal. Now, can you imagine? Now here I am. I need to pay someone to keep me accountable. Just how important is it to include financial coaching and a money coach in my my plan, financial plan for the year?
Yeah, I hear you. It's a new concept, but you don't have to even. This is how I look at it.
Yes.
There are 2 things. Can you honor your own promises to yourself? You. Forget about other people.
Yes. This is between you and you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've said I'll be waking up at 5 a.m. every day because I need to go to the market and get these tomatoes, which are going to help me raise my 1,000 per day. Okay? Yeah. Can you keep that to yourself? Like, honor that?
Yeah.
Now, it is difficult sometimes. And this is where you need character development.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, the Bible says that, it says that do not be afraid when you face many trials, because trials brings what? Perseverance. And perseverance brings what?
Yeah.
So it brings perseverance, and perseverance brings character. I'm not able to paraphrase well.
Yeah.
Character. And that character is what gives you hope, and hope does not disappoint. So there's a process of developing character. And you have to begin with those small things.
Yeah.
By the way, set those small goals and make sure you do them. And you don't have to get a person you pay.
No.
There's a year I decided I wanted to do, very huge sales. And I told my house help. Okay?
Yeah.
My house help, my son, and my husband were my accountability partners.
Yeah.
Why them? Because I am the one who says, when you promise, you must
have to deliver.
You have to honor that promise. So I have told my house help that I have this goal. And this is how I want you to support me. I've told my son, I have this goal. And this is how I want you to support me. And my husband. Already now that is a public.
Yeah.
I don't want embarrassment in front of these people. That's the other way.
Yeah.
We don't want to pay money.
Yeah.
But again, do you have a character that you do not want to lose? Because many people don't care what people think about, their values. For me, how my son sees me is very important.
Yeah.
Because when he goes to school and I tell him, you promised to do homework, every day without my supervision, I trust you will do it. I am not going to look at it. And then I discover he doesn't. You see, if I tell him things that I don't do, then he will say, but even you, Mom, sometimes
you keep your word.
Sometimes you don't keep your word. But I don't want that conversation.
To be cited for not honoring your word.
So I will tell him, this is the plan I'm planning to do. This is how I'll do it on a daily basis. Like exercise. Very small things. And let me, let me divert a little bit to show you what character means when it comes to your finances. Actually, how you manage your money shows who you are. Did you know that?
How you
manage, how you handle your money. It shows who you are, because you only invest in the things that you value. You only, do the things that you value. You pay for the things that you value.
True.
I'll give you an example. In 2013, I had a target to earn $500,000 per month.
$500,000 per month?
Yes. Yes.
That was 2013?
Yes, 2013.
Yeah.
And I had to communicate this to the people I'm telling you about. My son, my husband. For the househelp, I didn't tell her, the numbers. But she would ask me, hey, today, how much have we done?
Yes.
Because there was also, I had attached a reward. When I achieve, she would also get an increment. So it was also...
it's a win for her.
Yes. Yeah. So we agreed that then you're not going to be calling me to ask me what are we going to cook. You're not going to be expecting me to do the things that you're supposed to be doing. Everybody will do their job. And I like giving this analogy. I was quite heavy, as in, nilikuwa kafupi, kanono, round.
Si mimi nimesema ni wewe.
It was me. So when I looked at myself in the mirror, I don't like this Eunice,
No.
And because I have a big goal, I was moving from 200,000 to $500,000. In 1 year. That's a big shot.
That's huge,
So I'm like, how do I ensure this goal is done, is achieved? And I decided, let me see what I can do within myself. And this is when I read the scripture, lay off all the weight that entangles you. I like applying scripture literally sometimes. And I said, all this weight that entangles me, I need to shed it off. Okay? And so I had an agreement with myself that I am going to lose 12 kilos in 3 months.
Wow.
Because if I do that, then this financial goal will be achieved. I know people cannot see this connection. But let me tell you, the day I saw 2 kgs gone, 4 kg gone, that is the day that, I knew my financial goal will be achieved. And you know what? I achieved both in the year. All right?
Yes.
So what am I saying? Is that this has a lot to do with how much are you committed to develop the character you want to see in you. You know? And today, I would say, my life I enjoy because of that character development that has been happening over time. Setting goals, some are very outrageous, and going for them despite the circumstances. So you may not pay money. Though for me, I had, at that point, the other person, I got a coach, it's called Garirean Blair. I paid, I was paying monthly. He's American. Why? Because as much as I believe in myself, I still need to be reminded. So it may not be somebody you pay, but you need to be that person who you respect and you value, that you don't want to let yourself down and you don't want to let them down.
During our conversation, you have mentioned control of your thought process and also your action. Now, what are some of the common psychological hindrances that prevent us from achieving our financial goals?
Okay. Very good question. Do you know fear?
Fear, yes.
Fear. When my boss asked me what would happen if I earned $500,000, because it was December like now, and I saw a text, what would happen if you earned $500,000? I'm like, what? I mean,
yeah.
How? I mean, am I even worthy? And what, do you know how I responded? I think my husband would leave me. Those days, there was, you see now there is what Gen Zs are talking about. Now, our days, we used to be told that when a woman earns more money than the husband, they can't live together. So I was so scared.
Utaachwa. You're earning more than the hubby.
And I want to keep my marriage. And he asked, who said that men don't like women who are earning?
Yeah.
And then I asked, it's when, my subconscious is like, by the way, who said it? And I started asking, Eunice, who told you? And I started questioning everywhere I've heard that, and I've realized it's a defeatism thought process that people are spreading among each other to ensure that we don't become the best that we can be. And I'm not saying earning money is all. It's, for me, I look at money as it is the way I measure how my character is growing. You know? So that fear, I actually, looking back, it is a fear of success.
Wow.
Yeah, because I wasn't afraid that I may not. I was afraid that I will. I was afraid that I will do it, and then I lose my family. You see, it's a complex fear. So some people actually, you may be thinking you fear to fail, but you actually, what you're fearing is to succeed. Because of what the people around you say about money. Many people will think, no, why do you want to make more money? Or why do you want to save? Why do you want to own this or that? And if you do, you're going to become evil.
Wow.
Or you're going to forget your family, or you're going to lose your marriage. That is fear of success, isn't it? But what does the Bible say? Or what is the view? It's God who gives us the ability to make wealth. And does he choose whether it's women or men?
No.
Does he choose whether it's young or old?
No.
So there's no discrimination in that. So then this fear, why are we fearing to do it? If you get money and you lose your family, it is not money that made you lose your family. It is your character that has not developed to handle money and handle family for the glory of God. So what you need to work on is your character. And if you look at money as a tool, then you will never be afraid. A tool, for example, if you give me a knife, I can do very good job with a knife. I can cut burger nicely. I can cut fruit. I can cut meat. But I can also decide to cut my son. I'll cut you. But it is still a knife. Does it change?
The same knife. No, it
doesn't. So
doesn't.
does it have an action in itself? No. Money is a tool in your hands.
So you decide. You decide
how you use it. And how you decide is based on who is the authority in your life. You get? If you worship, if money becomes your master, then that is when you lose everybody else, and later to discover that you lost everyone in the process of that. So that is number one, fear.
Fear.
Okay? The other psychological things are, I've been doing this and I've never, succeeded. Actually, many people will set these goals. Now, after this talk, they will set the goals. February.
Oh, just a month away.
Yes.
A month after this conversation.
At a month, it's long.
End of January.
I will ask them. It's forgotten. Why? Because the goal is very important, but what are these activities that you need to do daily towards that? You want to do only small things that are achievable and measurable. Stephen R. Covey says, you you start with the end in mind.
Yeah.
So setting the goal itself, it's you're seeing the end. But then you can't live in the end.
No.
It's not possible to jump into that end.
No.
So you come and ask, how then do I live? So that in the end, this is what it will be, the outcome.
Yeah.
So those are barriers, like, I have always done it and it doesn't happen. So it makes people not plan.
Yeah.
And that means you just surrender to fate. And then you're wondering, why is everybody progressing and I'm not?
Yeah. Wow. Those are profound points there. Listening.
You didn't know that you could fear success.
If fear success, I'm looking at it, by the way, and it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. So thank you for that. We're almost coming to the close of our conversation this morning. And the one thing that also I hear a lot when money matters and financial goals are being set are debts. And you have highlighted madeni. What would you say about debts? And because there are those who fear debts.
Yes.
Then there are those, yes, they may not necessarily fear debts, but then again, debt has become catastrophic.
Yes, to them. Yeah.
So how do we strike a balance, Eunice?
Wow, that's a very, very good question, Chichi. And I allow me to share our story.
Yes.
My husband is I'm sure he's listening, and he will agree to this. Our very first debt we took was that time after setting our Vision 2020, which was a mortgage for our house.
Yeah.
And before we took it, we had to go through the whole Bible to understand debt.
Whole Bible looking for
what does the Bible say about borrowing? And my friend, what we found is very scary.
Share with us.
One of the things that we found is this scripture that says that, number one, the lender is a servant.
Yeah.
The borrower is a servant of the lender. Now, the worst is, I can't remember the exact scripture, you can find it, is that when you borrow and you are not able to pay, they will take even the bed under you. That is where the concept of auctioning has come from. It's biblical.
Yeah.
Yes. If you borrow, you better pay, because even the bed that you're sleeping on will be taken. But then there is also a situation in the Bible that talks about debt as an instrument of growing.
Yeah.
And this is in, is it Elisha who told this woman to go and borrow containers?
Yes.
And then
his widow.
Yeah, this widow, yes. Yeah. So you go borrow, and then it was multiplied. All right?
Yeah.
So my perspective about debt is actually borrowed from the Bible.
Yeah.
It's what guides whatever I do.
Yeah.
And this is what I see, that borrowing is very dangerous. You said it can lead people to catastrophe.
Yeah.
Yes, it will, because if your bed is taken under you, so unalalia. And bed.
Yeah.
How many people enter your bedroom?
Not so many. Actually, it's just.
Now an auctioneer coming to take your bed.
Imagine an auctioneer anaingia mpaka bedroom. Yeah,
and that dangerous. Is in the Bible.
Yeah.
So that means it is very catastrophic.
Yeah.
But you can borrow for investment, for an asset that is going to generate a return that is higher than the interest you're paying. Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so yes, debt is good to grow your wealth.
Yeah.
But you need to calculate. You don't take debt to buy this cup of tea. Why? It will never come back.
Yeah.
It
will never.
It will never. So borrow to invest, but do not borrow to eat.
Yeah. Don't borrow. Borrow to invest. Don't borrow to eat.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Eye-opening. Challenging. Eunice, thank you so much. We need to call it a day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know, because we can continue. I love this one topic that I love about finances and all. But before I allow you to leave, maybe you can give us your last comments, your parting shot.
My parting shot?
A wisdom to leave us with, to ponder on, even as we continue to either start, edit our financial plans and all.
Yeah. My parting shot, planning is important, because when you don't plan, they say you're planning to fail. And it gives you a direction. It focuses your mind somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
It helps you. Actually, the process is very important, because it helps you hear what God is saying about your life. All right?
Yes.
That is for those who believe in God. I believe everybody does.
Yeah.
Even when they deny it.
Even when they deny, they really know.
Whatever you call it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So planning is important. Actually, when you're planning for your finances, dream big. Make the vision big.
Yeah.
And write it big. Put it up kwa sitting room or bedroom.
Yeah.
Why? Because that's what God expects you to do. And though it lingers, wait for it. It will surely come. So basically, it's calling us to also be patient with ourselves, because it will be achieved somehow. My experience is anything is on paper is always achieved before time.
Yeah.
Imagine there's no one goal that I have set that I have not achieved.
Wow.
Yes.
Very encouraging.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just set them. They'll be achieved.
Right.
Okay? And then finally, remember, money is a tool. Do not fear to make money. It's God who gives you the ability. And if you fear to make money, how will you help anybody when you have no money?
When you have nothing. When you have nothing,
I mean, if we all don't have, who is helping who?
True.
All right? So remember, it is a tool in your hands. Decide whether you're going to use it for good or for evil. Now, if you've developed your character, then you'll use it for evil. If you have developed your character, you'll use it for the kingdom of God. Yeah.
Eunice, thank you so much. We will continue and continue and continue.
Yes.
Until tufukuzwe hii studio. So thank you so much. Thank you for your time. As always, we look forward to having these conversations with you, because you are so real, and very vulnerable as well. You share your stories with us, and for that we remain forever grateful. So thank you so much. Continue enjoying the holidays with your loved ones, and regards to each and every one of them.
Thank you so much,
Thank you. Thank you.
But these people need to follow us.
Definitely.
On YouTube. Please subscribe to 20X Entrepreneur
20X
YouTube channel.
Entrepreneur.
Yes. And on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, follow 20X Entrepreneur and Be Smart Insurance. And also you can follow me, Eunice Maina, in all the platforms. For X, it's Eunice W. Maina.
Okay.
And for all the others, it's Eunice Maina. Just follow us. And we actually, 20X, have a training hub whereby we can send trainers to your organization to train employees on financial management, on sales, on leadership, on mental wellness. We do all that. We have a lot of, great trainers in our 20X hub.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know they will send people there.
Yes, they will.
Thank you so very much as well. Happy holidays to you and your families. Thank you for joining us. Remember, money is a tool. It is up to you to decide how you want to use it, for good or for evil. Thank you so very much. Continue setting those financial goals so that we make the year 2025 the year of prosperity and the year of success. On behalf of the entire team, my name is George Gishoro, and we wish you a blessed and a prosperous day ahead. Bye-bye for now.